Are we live? What's up?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Comics de la Muerte, episode 57. I'll kill. You'll all die. I think that's the name of the title. It's been a while, folks. So, yeah. But I'm Ronnie Gunter, Crimson Isle Comics, and my co-host Jason Alexander, Frog Breaker Studios. But it's good to be back. It was a great 2 weeks. Got to spend time with my mom, got to spend time with my sister, other siblings, you know, just, it was great. It was good.
That's way awesome, really, man. I'm glad you got to go and have a good time. So you were in Missouri.
St. Louis, yep.
Awesome. Awesome, man. Did you get out at all? Or did you go to any comic shops while you were there? You sent me a couple of pretty
cool
yeah.
I went to a used bookstore, and they had like first edition. Of course, you know, the books are like all wore out, and they didn't have the cover to the books, but they did have some first edition Stephen King books there.
Oh, and no way. That's way awesome, man.
But then they had a mint condition cover and signature of Cujo by Stephen King. That's like $1,200. So I'm like, nope, I ain't got that money. But if I did, I would have got
it. Right.
And then I got a reprint of Action Comics 1, the introduction of Superman. That was cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
Went to Irish pub, had something really good, Reuben sandwich that was amazing. My sister and
I like Reubens. Yeah. I just don't like the dressing on them, and I don't like rye bread. That's my biggest hang up.
Yeah, this was pumpernickel bread, so it tastes different. And then the Guinness tastes really good. Though you could tell it was not shipped from a bottle. But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and he told me he was going to send me stuff, but I like to just give a shout out to Landon because he gave me some free stuff. So let me just show that.
Oh, nice.
All right. So first off, he gave me an actual physical copy of the book. So that was cool.
Oh, that's so awesome, man. Nice.
And then he gave me another comic book. I got two, so I'm going to send one to you, Jason. I don't know. I haven't read it, but I don't know if it's like a dark superhero thing, but something that he made. Let me see if I can get the glare off. Yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty cool. I love that cover. That is awesome.
But he gave me a couple of these. This is like, I'm like, wow. You sent me like posters of, Bleen, and they're pretty wicked looking.
Oh, you could have. Oh, okay. Oh, that's really cool, man. That's quite the haul. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That one is really cool. Awesome.
This, besides all the like people in the comic, this one was really cool too. Yeah. So thank you, Landon, for all that awesome stuff.
Yeah, man. That's really dope, man.
But
y'all go check out. Do we have a link in his for Bleen and for Landon's website?
Yep.
He's got awesome art on his site.
Yeah.
And his Instagram, guys. Landon Huber on Instagram.
Oh snap! I got two after
Landon
the
Huber,
show notes.
I think this is Wix
since
site.
now I got Jon, the author, Instagram link. I'll put that in the link afterwards. But if you follow me on if you follow me on Instagram, I do have his link there. I'll just have to post it here after the show's over.
Yep.
Awesome. But yeah,
Awesome.
really awesome guys. Oh, and speaking, there he is now.
Hey, what's up, man?
But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I don't know if my internet's slow or yours, but sorry
yeah,
guys, it's been a while.
I think before we start talking about the comic, I think I may try to like disconnect and reconnect just to make sure we can have a good discussion about it, because it'll
Gotcha.
go fast, but I don't want it to keep sputtering and stuttering. So give me a second. Gotcha. I'm gonna log out and log right back in.
Yeah, not a problem. Let me get the comic up and running. But I hope you're having a good week, Landon. Like I said, appreciate it. There we go. Hey, John, what's up? All right, we're back.
All right, I think I'm back. I think I'm good.
And John's here. Speaking
awesome.
of the
What's
writer,
up, John?
Yeah, what's up?
How's it going, y'all? Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, let me click through these really fast. Yeah, it's starting to go by a lot faster because I think even the text at the bottom were taking a while. But before we get into it, what did you think of this issue?
I love this issue. I definitely think that it needed not for me, but for the masses. I'm probably pretty sure it would need a trigger warning. It was shocking, but in a good way. Because it's it all lends to that whole thing of storytelling and writing is kind of what it's how relatable can it be to make you appreciate an environment that you really wouldn't find yourself in. So it was a good issue. Definitely the hardest issue, but probably my favorite issue of the three that we've covered so far. And
for sure.
Again, like the story is all there, so you would definitely want to read this more than you want to hear us talk about it, for sure.
Yeah. And I did message John, and John is here. He said that he will let me know when he could come on. Hopefully, when we do the last issue next week, he could probably come on. If not, there's always an opening. We don't have to even if we're reviewing another book and he's like, "Hey, I could come on this week." We'll stop that the review on that book to get him on to get to know about John a little bit, since we had Landon on.
Yeah, we could even do just to revisit this, all four chapters, down the road, and kind of pick John's brain a little bit on the writing aspect of it, because I love sitting under learning tree. So anytime, I'm ready.
For sure. So with me, I just gonna talk about some of the panels here. I love for the fact that you see her home and everything, and you have this middle piece shaped like a house. I didn't know.
Right.
I don't know if you guys had that idea to do that in the first place, but I like that. It just shows that in for any young creator, you don't always have to have your panels be like squares. You know, you need to break it up.
Yeah, and just so much of the artwork is just very, I don't know, like it's very Tim Burton to me. Like it's
exactly. It's like Tim Burton
almost
in a horror way. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like it's super scary, but it's almost whimsical in a lot of spaces. And
awesome.
It's just like
he said, yeah, for sure next week.
Awesome, word up. Like, but for as heavy as the topics in this chapter was, this just the artwork kind of just stood out pretty amazingly. There wasn't a lot of dialogue in this chapter, really. Like the story was told visually, and
it was very action
well done. Absolutely.
Yeah. But let's see. Oh no. See
what the hell is going on, Ronnie? What are you doing here?
I know I've been gone for 2 weeks and I don't know what I'm doing.
No, it's all good. But no, a fun chapter. So okay, I guess I'll chat about this for a second for the sake of not just speaking on the entire story. When we first like really started chatting horror, and I started to like find, I did our version of the video store, right? Like where I just kind of started picking stuff up and watching it after I kind of started to get an idea of what I liked. I had seen it as a kid, and it was good, and it was like, it was good and scary, but it wasn't until I was much older that I realized like these kids were like working through like some pretty heavy stuff, and that's kind of what got Pennywise there in the first place. This story like had a lot of that with it, because for as dark as Pennywise is in it, Bleen's Dark Passenger is almost it is an ally, and it's very necessary that she carry that darkness with her in the environment that she's in. Like there's nothing pleasant about where she is, and that is the relatability. Like that's where it's like, okay, I will never be a teenage girl in an insane asylum, but we have a common ground, and like I'm hooked at that point. Like I'll read through anything, and this book hit, and it's a book that I like, even less than Blood Realm. It's a book that I did not think that would really fit into what I was into, but man, I'm here for it. Like I'm all the way here for it now. Like I'll read it again, collected, once we finish with it.
Yeah, because she's going to some place that is meant to be something to help people with, but
there's no help here.
It's a prison, and she's a victim, and she's like literally facing things that she shouldn't have to at that young of an age, like with harassment, physical verbal harassment, and with the old man being like a pervert. Like literally she probably had a better time not being in this place, and this place has just made it worse.
It was growing up in a cult, 1,000%. Like that was gonna say that it locked me right in, and that's just it. Like it's just money. Like doesn't really matter. Like how cool you make the environment is one thing, but once you can connect, like that's what we always try to do. Get on base, get in scoring position, like stay on base. This book stayed on base. As dark as it was, it stayed on base, and I'm here. I'm here for it. I can't say that enough. It's a really, really good book, and this was a really good chapter.
Yeah, but
It
it's
kind
like
of
that.
it
It
tied
has
the
that
whole book.
darkness to it where it goes together. It's not like a typical, modern horror movie where it's just about the gore and nudity and no, real story structure to it.
Right, exactly.
It's
No, it was
basically it's no torture porn, pretty much.
this is true. But no, it's how dark can you get?
Hmm.
And I think this book says you can get as dark as you need to be
Yeah.
if it's a part of the story. Like
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like this is solid. It's a solid book, y'all. I wish we could talk about the whole thing because I would love to. I
Oh
really
yeah.
like this chapter, but y'all
But but as you but in the
go get
beginning,
this
pretty
book.
much. Yeah, exactly. The links are down below. But as you see in the beginning, you know, she's pretty much at home and she's talking about her rabbit. She's had that rabbit for a very long time. And now, flash forward, you have her birthday in the asylum, and everybody's like saying happy birthday, but they're being jackasses at the same way. Just like
Right.
the fat guy here, he's like, I said shut up. I mean, I said shut the fuck up, and the guy is like literally holding the rabbit while he has a knife in his hand. And if you follow the story, and you guys did buy the book, you could tell that this guy does not. He he has an authority issue, and he wants to always be in control, no matter what he's willing to do to have people like fear him and respect him.
Yeah. Yeah. So this insane asylum, it's all her peers are very despicable. Like
Yeah,
like they're little shits in the best way
exactly.
possible. But
Hmm.
then like the adults, every adult is worse than the adult that you meet before that one. And
Yeah.
it's just like you can feel the scum on the walls in this place. Like
Oh yeah, for
it
sure.
stands out so much against that clean checkerboard floor. Like, but it's very good, guys. Solid book.
Should we show? Well, they seen the front cover of issue 3. Should we talk
Yeah,
about what happens next?
yeah. Like I think we
Yeah,
kind of have to. Like this is almost like
that's
the
that's a
origin.
that's a big
Yeah,
shocker because
this is
literally.
this is like the origin issue.
So, like, let me get forward to it. So basically, this is like in the beginning where she's at home. Ever since I can remember, you've been there as my only friend. Pretty much talking about the rabbit, and then flash forward to her birthday. She's always cared about this rabbit, while this fat guy. He's probably one of those kids that was bullied a lot as a kid, and he went into a job where he knew he could basically boss people around to make him feel
No.
good. You know,
Yeah, and not to mention like this is the rabbit her mom said that she was going to live inside before she died.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's got
So
layers, man.
exactly, and then I got to bring this up close because this is pretty messed up.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty much like right. That's like the last chapter recap. That's pretty much where it ended.
Yeah,
Was
and as you see here,
it opened
the
Pandora's box.
like the guy just doesn't threaten to kill the rabbit. He stabbed it in the gut, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm not done. I'm gonna then stab it in the head." And wow, he literally threw the rabbit on the cake, splat. Like I knew the guy was a jerk, but I wasn't expecting him to go that far. But then, it's a horror comic, so you kind of expect that. But
Yeah, like this is your carry moment. You
yeah,
know, like
exactly. Exactly. This
this
is
is
your
it.
Carrie moment.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking. This is definitely Carrie right here.
Yep. And
But
like I said, like yeah, this is like horror, but
Yeah.
This whole crew, they got what they deserved.
And see, me and you talk about this all the time. Like, you want your like horror pages or your like your shock pages to be like big and bold, and
Yep.
we've always seen it where like you've had like something gross or to test. Sure, you have the rabbit here on the cake, that's big, but with Jon and Landon, they wanted to show that the real monsters deserve the big deserve the big splash page, and that's everyone that's working in this asylum who are assholes just laughing at her while she's crying because her only friend is now dead as on the top of a cake. Like,
And I
that's
gotta say,
Mhm.
before we go too much further, the page that we were just on with
Yeah.
the bunny side
Hmm.
is so full of panels, and it's very fast, and it's almost can almost hear all the chaos.
Yeah.
But then
Hmm.
on this splash page where everybody's laughing, the laughs are so spaced out,
Yeah.
you can kind of get the sense that it's deathly quiet except for Oblina
Hmm.
hearing these people point and laugh at her.
Yeah.
And like it's the when people who know how to do comics do them well,
Hmm.
there's these times that you you can hear the page, and
Yeah, exactly. Because
totally right
this
here
takes
you
place
can
in the
hear the
80s.
echo off
Hmm.
these walls,
Yeah.
and you know you smell the food, but you can
Hmm.
definitely hear how quiet it is other than this mean spirited laughter, like, and you know what has to happen next.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
just
Like like you were saying, like literally you could hear the sound of these pages. Like, this takes
yeah.
place in the 80s, and this definitely like has a carry moment where like as soon as he's stabbing the rabbit and then throwing on the cake, and before the laughter, I could just hear like some 80s like suspense sound or music, like dun 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 dun, and you just hear like this sound effect where she like goes literally bonkers, because that's usually how it is. It's like you have this person who you know expected to be the killer, and then they just freak out, and you hear like that suspense music and that snapping music like they have. I don't know. I could just picture it like hearing like 80s
Yep.
horror music. But yeah,
Man,
definitely.
these guys are also like
Exactly.
visual storytelling combined with all the other aspects that are equally hard to pull off in a comic,
Yeah. Hmm.
done well. It's just nothing like it. Like this is like the best. This is like the best field to be in. Is like the
Yeah.
comic field, because you know it's like you never know who you're going to meet and what it's going
Hmm.
to look like. But when it's
Exactly.
awesome, it doesn't. It's always awesome. When it's good, it's always good. And then even when it's not great, it's usually still pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna comment on these pages too, since it doesn't have a lot of dialogue. Landon did a great job drawing it, hands down. But also too, it shows how good of a great of a writer Jon is as well, because it's one of those things. You could be a comic book writer and write a bunch of dialogue, but if you're not able to like write action scenes that doesn't involve a lot of dialogue, then you should work on that better, because as a writer, you need to find ways to have scenes that could literally tell the story without having to have words in it. And these two pages have very little words, but it tells exactly the story, what's going on.
All right, I gotta tell one of my quick old man stories real
Hmm.
quick,
Go ahead.
if I can remember all of it. I just when I grew up getting comics, like there was no comic book stores in Gastonia. Um,
Yeah.
not that I knew of anyway. So my comics came from the gas station, the spinning rack at a drugstore, or at Food Line. That's the only places I got comics. All I had to go on when I got comics was what they looked like. And so the coolest comic and a Ninja Turtles comic, that was like, that was the coolest looking one. And, you know, some stuff I loved, and then some stuff I got, and then it wasn't that great, but it looked really, really good. But it's kind of like, my mom used to make lasagna with just ground beef, and it was always good enough. Just like a comic book, like these comic books that I got that were like very visually pleasing, they were always good enough. But man, the first time like you get lasagna and it's got sausage in it with the beef, it's like a whole new world. And it's like when you can combine writing and like great writing and great visuals, like it's the best. It really is. And it like, even like, especially with comics, like even more so than a movie, because you can live on these pages as long as you want. There's always so much like to look for, you know, whether it's just an environment or whether it's like this, you know, whether it's little visual cues that artists and writers collaborate on to like set the scene. It's very Kubrick, and it really makes me happy. Like even the sign is laughing at her. Like there's nothing in this room that's not out to get her.
Like John said, the cake, there's laughter on the cake with the smiley face.
So good. Like this is how you do it, guys. Like just everybody needs a little something like this in their comic, because it's the sauce, man.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have her friend, her, you know, imaginary friend. But I mean, that's also a great thing too, because people are like, oh, it's a monster. How could it be her imaginary friend? You know how many times I heard stories as a kid or, you know, watch videos? It's like, oh, this kid has my daughter, my sibling has imaginary friend, and you find out that their imaginary friend is like a ghost or something. So, you know, it's not too far fetched, you know. But yeah,
you know,
but
we
here
never
again,
really talk about what our imaginary friends look like anyway. So who's to say, like, if you really get down to describing it, they don't look like this sometimes, you know.
But again, love the panel breakup, you know, with the whole triangles and stuff, because you want to focus on their face. No. Stop it, cursor. But I just love the fact that, you know, she's getting bandaged up by his bandages. You know, you could see literally she's going from like this sweet, quiet girl to like the transformation where I'm here to kick your ass because you just took the only thing that meant something to me.
Yeah, she even like she looks like she aged a little bit. Even, you know, like this was it. This was the turning point. This was the tipping point.
Yeah, for sure. But he's telling her, is like, you know, are you still there? Yes. I was wrong. I need your help. Tell me what to do. Kill them. Set me free. And then this happens like it happened on the front cover. I just loved what happened. You now have her, you know, have the monster set free. And what comes out of the cake? Mummified. I'm going to say it because it looks like it. Mummified zombie ninja rabbits, like literally coming out to kill people. Like, this is just a great panel. Like, I just love it. It's like one of those really cool panels. You're like, yeah, kill them.
It's instant karma. Like, that's exactly what's coming after. Because they kill, you know, they all laughed when that rabbit got killed with a knife. And so now they all got to get killed by dead rabbits with knives.
Yeah, exactly. But I love it too, because when you focus on like everything else is like gray, black, and white. But me visually, I'm looking at the boom because you want your eyes to go to the center of that cake and then your eyes to just go outwards to see everything else. And it's just a really nice splash page there. Just awesome stuff. And you can see the old pervert freaking out. And then, of course, who does the rabbits go after? They go after the... Oh, get out of here. Mike, I got to update my computer. This is sensitive. Get out of here. What are you doing?
And look, all they hear is all the things that they've said.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
Just, it's man, you never know where you're gonna find your kinfolk, man.
Exactly. No, but I love it right here. The rabbit gets killed.
Sorry, so John.
No. What's going on?
This is what John just said in the chat.
Fecal. That's funny.
We're still here for it, man. Don't give up on it.
Yeah, that's the spinoff right there. No, but yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. I'm not gonna go any further to show other stuff, but it's definitely. I'm gonna say it here. I said the other ones were a 8.5, 9. This definitely is like my most favorite one yet. So I'm gonna give this definitely I'm gonna give it a 10, just because of the action. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 10.
Okay.
I really enjoy this issue just for the fact is that issue 1 and issue 2. We had the establishment of who these characters are, which you should have the beginning explaining who they are. And now we're at number 3. It's like no holds bar. I'm gonna release everything and I'm gonna show my true wrath. So yeah, definitely 10 for me.
I'm gonna go 9 out of 10, like a hard 9. Like, yeah, there ain't many people who are doing 9s, and so this deserves to be hung on the highest flagpole, and this is certified like indie gold. Like it really is. Like definitely go get this book. Landon, you're supposed to say it's a 10. Like
I just enjoyed this one a lot, just for like the visual and like the action packed. It was one of those things like it's like, oh, how to explain it?
It's a badass book. It's a really badass book.
It's one of those things like this issue literally made me sad because I saw the rabbit get killed. Then it made me laugh because all of a sudden you saw these like zombie mommy rabbits jump out from nowhere. And then it made me like, oh snap, because then you see all these different people getting killed by these rabbits. So yeah, it had me have a different emotions. And that's what's a good book, is when you're going through all these different emotions. Just like when they had 80s horror and they had Chucky and all these other horror movies come out where it had its humor, but there was still moments where it would scare you or like give you a shock factor. And I definitely got that from this book.
I write very dark when I'm writing, like it's on specific topics. Like I write very dark, and I write around the trauma the way that it feels. And this book had a very strong undercurrent that pulled you it pulled you past the supernatural, and it made the supernatural count so much more because it was rooted in something that a lot of us. Hey, what's going on, Pete? Thanks for stopping by, man.
I have to say this because I know he posted it. People go check out Peter Palmiotti. He just finished his last page of Retro.
Nice, awesome.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. That's good stuff, man. But like a lot of times when you write dark or you create dark stories, it's very easy to be concerned with like tuning people out. And
yeah,
I feel like if it's the way that it's supposed to be, you should definitely lean all the way into it if it's if it's what your story is supposed to be. And like this story gave me a lot of confidence to like push through. Like if I believe in my story, I should tell it the way that it is, because sometimes it is uncomfortable and sometimes it is a little bit raw, but we all get that. And so no, like very good book. My favorite of the Bleen chapter so far. This was
for sure.
very Carrie, very Kill Bill, but still told its very own story. And hats off, man. Like it's a very valid book, and it's one that I would hope that I could create a book as valid as this one day. So please don't stop telling stories, guys. It's awesome.
For sure.
Can't wait to read number 4.
And definitely, if you could come on, John, around this time, that'd be great. But if you need to have us push it back until like 9:30 our time, which I think is like 4 hours. I think you guys are 4 hours or 3 hours behind. I can't remember, but if you need us to do it at our 9:30 p.m. instead of our 9, that's fine. Just hit me up.
Yeah, we'll make it work. Even if something happens and it can't be next week, we'll still make it work. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait. Like I'm excited. This is another solid find. I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad this all came together because I am enjoying this book.
Yeah, but like I said before, I mean, we reviewed like mainstream comics, guys who's been in the business and who have like other comics out there, but I just feel, and of course we might go back to American Vampire at some point, but right now I feel that some of the best books are horror indie comics. Just because
I feel like the heart of horror right now for comics
is
anyway is indie.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. You had at some point, yes, I would like to review Tales from the Crypt and all those other comics, that started it all. But right now, unlike superhero books, I believe that indie horror is where horror is shining right now.
Yep. And also, like, we're growing, but creators like us deserve the spotlight.
Exactly.
There's good shit that's happening. And it's happening all the time. Like, that's the cool thing. Like, and that's what kind of keeps me in the game is like people are like really like telling their stories, and there's a lot of lightning being captured in bottles. And so yes, absolutely.
It is.
Yep. Yeah, we craft it from a different place, I think. I feel pretty comfortable in saying that, like,
yeah,
sure. we're not crafted from I'm not shitting on anything, but like we're not crafted out of a thought camp. A lot of times, like for me, when I write horror, like it's from my own trauma or things that I've seen people experience. And then it's just, to strip off a lot of this stuff and add like horns and teeth and slick oil and see what it all looks like, But man, I love horror. I love indie horror. Like indie comic creators are pretty damn cool people, man. I'm glad y'all let me sit at the table.
Well, I thank you for always being on the show with me.
Hell yeah, Ronnie.
Our
Anytime,
show.
man.
You know, you're the heart of
I
the
don't care
show
what
just
you want
as
to
much as
call it,
I am.
man. Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, this has been a good one, man. I can't wait till next week.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll see you all next week. We'll get Jon on the show, pick his brain as a writer, and ask him if he's got other stuff down the road. But I hope you all have a great night and a great weekend. See y'all next week.
Good night.
Bye.
Take care. Be safe.